Hello, everyone, and welcome to OurVentura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, we're welcoming Joe Morelli. He is the fire marshal for the city of Ventura. Welcome to our program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Very good. Today, we'd like to talk more about the fire hazard reduction program. And I would like to have you explain that a little bit more, because this is so important for both the community and firefighters to work together to make this a success. So if you can, please tell us more about the fire prevention team and who they are.
Okay, well, our fire prevention team in the city of Ventura consists of 8 full-time staff and 3 part-time. Most of them have a background in either firefighting, so they inherently just understand the risk and how to lessen the risk in the community, or they have a community risk reduction or environmental type of background. But very proud of what we do with our small but dedicated team.
That's good to hear. So what is the fire reduction program exactly? Tell us exactly what that entails.
So the fire hazard reduction program, it's similar with our other programs. It's actually one of several programs that we have in the city of Ventura Fire Department. And with each of those programs, it really includes 3 different elements. There's enforcement. We call it the 3 E's: enforcement, education, and engineering. So when the community is built, whether it's a single family dwelling or it's an apartment complex, the fire department's involved in that process, including if it's in the hillside communities. So with all new homes, there's an enforcement or engineering element. Mm-hmm. All new homes that have been built for several years now have been equipped with an automatic fire sprinkler system. And for our hillside homes, we also review the landscaping. So there's a defensible space aspect of what we're looking at to ensure that the plantings are spaced far enough apart. There's nothing too close to the home that's going to, cause it to ignite during a wildfire. And then that's our engineering portion of our program. Mm-hmm. Enforcement, really, I like to say it's more enforcement and education together when we're out in the community performing up to 10,000 inspections a year, just to ensure first that the community knows what the requirements are that are going to keep them safer in their properties. And then ultimately, doing those inspections and letting everyone know if there's something that needs to be done on their property to meet those standards.
Good. Well, what are some of the projects and services that the fire prevention program supports throughout the entire year?
So we have several different programs. Just at a high level, we perform mandated inspections of all schools, high-rise, hotels, motels. That's one program, but we're involved in public education. So our fire department is involved each year in a program called Fire Safety Days, where we educate a whole grade of elementary school students once each year, and we have them at our training grounds, and it's a big event, and they get to see what we do in the fire service, and we give them an opportunity to write an essay on what they learned. And usually I think that they learn a lot when they come about fire prevention, and they bring that back to their homes. So we do things like that. We partner with the Red Cross for smoke detector installation events. And then also we have an event coming up that will support our fire hazard reduction program and give people more than just giving them a notice of what they need to do, but actually helping them to accomplish that.
Let's talk about some of the brush clearance requirements. Just who is impacted? Is this homeowners, residents, landlords, businesses, everybody? What is going to happen to everyone for the requirements?
Well, the whole community is impacted in the sense that what our neighbors do can affect us. And that's why it's such an important program to have everyone involved in. But what everyone can expect is that we're sending out over 6,000 mailers. They'll receive a notice sometime in the next 4 or 5 days, letting them know what the program requirements are. essentially what are you required, what's required within 30 feet of your home, 5 feet of your home, or 30 to 100 feet. And really, it all comes down to just reducing the risk, reducing the fuel load, taking reasonable measures to do that. Anyone in the high fire hazard area of the city, that would be, for the most part, anything above foothill or poli would be considered in a high fire hazard area. Should receive one of those notices, and it has a contact information. We're hoping that we'll get voluntary compliance with everyone participating in that program. So what you do affects your neighbor, and what they do affects you as far as staying safe.
Well, that's good to know. Certainly, what does the city do now for supporting the residents in reducing the risk here in the community?
So we have some great partners in the city. One of those partners is the Ventura Regional Fire Safe Council.
Okay.
And the Fire Safe Council is actually putting on a chipper event, and the city is partnering, Parks and Rec and the fire department are partnering with them for that event. It's coming up on April 17th. Mm-hmm. It's going to be at the Pierside Pavilion, and from about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we don't want palm fronds or poison oak, of course, in the mix, but other vegetation, there's an opportunity to get rid of that during that event.
Okay. After the brush clearance deadline, what happens next? Because literally fire prevention is year round now in California. So after this deadline occurs, what do you do next?
So this deadline is just a reminder of what to do, what's required really year round. Usually by May 18th, you have most of your annual growth, but then you can get some rain, you get some more growth.
Right.
And so it's really a year-round effort, just like it's a year-round fire season.
Sure.
And so if we go out, we do our inspections, and then we get a phone call, let's say 3 months after that, for a property, and someone thinks there's overgrowth, we'll go back out and we'll look at it. So, and we do that anytime during the year.
Okay.
So
are residents fined if they don't comply with the requirements that you have?
Fortunately, we've been able to, through education and working with homeowners. I think everyone understands the risk and the importance of the program.
Okay.
For the most part, eventually though, if we do 2 inspections, 3 inspections, and provide the notices and inform a homeowner of what needs to be done, if it's not done, it could lead to some level of enforcement, but we don't like to see it get there, and usually we get voluntary compliance. Good
to know. Could you share the website for people out there who want to get more information or contact information about the program?
Sure. I have actually, the Fire Safe Council has a great website as well. It's venturafiresafe.org.
Okay.
Or you can go to venturacityfire.com for more information. And one other piece of information I want to share is that this is just one element of the Ready Set program. Readying your property, preparing it. It's really important for everyone to also be aware of what's happening around them and sign up for emergency alerts at vcalert.com. And that way you're aware if there's any evacuation notice or anything else that you need to be aware of. Not just fire, but potentially other emergencies.
Very good. Well, this is really important information for the entire community, and we hope that people will access the website if they do have more questions or if they need more contact information.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to
Great.
share.
And thank you, City of Ventura Fire Marshal Joe Morelli, for joining us today on the show and sharing more about this important program for so many people here in Ventura.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank all of you for joining us today on Our Ventura TV. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.